Hello, everybody. This is a very cool conversation I had with Jason Newsted back on December 3rd, 2002. And we all know what band Jason was in for a while, right? Check it out.
Hi, Jason.
Yeah.
Hi, Stephen Rosen.
How's it going?
How you doing?
Good.
Good. I appreciate you taking the time to do this. This shouldn't take too long.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time.
Oh, well, not at all. Not at all. I realized that that we're here mainly to talk about the new band in Echobrain, and I've heard the record and think it's great and
Thank you.
something very different for you. I would like to just go through some of the backstory just to try to get us current to where we are here.
Okay.
I guess the thing that really struck me as odd is that you're leaving the band, I guess, caught them all so unaware. The point being that here are these guys that you've been playing with for so long, and I would think that they would, that you all would understand each other, you know, way beyond the musical thing emotionally and other things that you need to bring in to kind of keep you fulfilled. And the fact that they didn't maybe sense that, or maybe it was just one of the guys didn't sense. I just thought that seemed a little bit, I don't know.
It's a little weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. That is the fundamental basis of it. It was just too much for me to really understand as a man. To take myself away from being a member of Metallica for a minute and saying what's important to me as a man. I mean, I'm getting, shot down or confined, being kept from what keeps me alive, basically. And so I said, well, then what are you going to do? You're going to just pretend that you're having a good time in this other band and playing this stuff and keep going through the motions and crap, or so you're certainly not that person, I said to myself. And that was that. I mean, It was the most, easily the most difficult decision I've ever had to make in my life.
I'm sure it was, and
so, but it had to be. I mean, that's just all there is to it, and you have explained it already in your own question there, is that being together 15 years in closed spaces and more or less being married to each other should be able to understand and give each other the space that you need in order to, see what makes people tick. I mean, it was not hard to see, after being around me for more than about 10 minutes, to see what makes me tick. I mean, there has to be music taking place, and if there's not, then I am basically depressed. So, I mean, that's all there is to it. That's how it's always been since I started playing music, and I wasn't about to change it for anybody for any dollars or any bullshit.
Well, I applaud that. I mean, I think, to walk away from something like that, I mean, must have taken a lot of courage and, determination. Typically, when you look back at other bands and somebody wants to go off and do a side thing or a solo thing, usually what is at the very bottom of that is that the other guys are somehow they're jealous of that, or they're afraid to let you go and do this thing, and this other thing becomes in any kind of a way a competition for the main band.
You bet.
And I can never quite understand. I mean, especially a band as big as Metallica was. I mean, you could have gone out and done the next Sgt. Pepper's, and it wouldn't have made any difference. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Which we came close to doing a piece of Sgt. Pepper anyway on Echobrain.
Yeah, absolutely.
There are so many things underlying, personal things and stuff like that, but also just fundamental things that. Metallica is now in its 21st year.
Wow.
And the legend that's been created, that I helped create, could not be affected in any way. I just don't see it. And that was my argument, is that I could not see how that something like as beautiful as Echobrain, something as different as Echobrain, could give Metallica any kind of competition. It doesn't sound anything like it.
Right, exactly.
If it was a watered-down thing, or I had some heavy band going, or death metal thing, then I would understand if somebody's going, that might threaten the integrity of our heaviness or whatever. But since Echobrain is so different, I could not see how it could ever affect the people that came to sit in the seats at the live shows, or the people that went to buy the retail albums, or the people that bought the T-shirts, or the fans that have been around for years and continued to grow, snowballing forever and ever, generation after generation, coming to listen to Metallica. I could not see how this beautiful music could ever affect that, because I've been playing with these guys in Echobrain since 1996, off and on. Echobrain and Metallica coexisted for 4 or 5 years before I made the choice. It's something that was always there, and we finally decided to take it to the next level to share it with people. and it just was not something that those guys really liked the idea of, I guess.
Did you try to bring in any kinds of ideas that are on the Echobrain record into the Metallica fold? I mean,
no.
You never even made the attempt.
Did not cross pairs at all, or whatever. They did not cross breed or whatever.
No.
None of that. Metallica's Metallica and Echobrain's Echobrain. That was the thing. I don't think that it was fair of them to question my dedication or loyalty to Metallica.
Mm-hmm.
I was always very dedicated and always on time, and there's no way in a million years that you would hear that I would miss a practice, let alone being late for one.
Right.
So, I mean, that's just rehearsal. I mean, that's just making noise and stuff.
Right.
Flown across the country on a minute's notice and canceled plans with my mother to make something happen for Metallica. I mean, it's all very real things, that I felt that there was a manner of disrespect involved. That really is the bottom line. The disrespect level.
I understand.
Like a 38-year-old man, 37-year-old man, whatever I was at the time, saying, I also gave options. That was the kind of thing that bugged me the most, is that I gave a couple options first.
That was my next
before
question.
I dropped the bomb. So.
Yeah. And they wouldn't go for that, obviously.
No, they just, the kind of the thing was, I always felt in Metallica that they never let my ideas really get past their earlobes.
I guess that was sort of my question, the Echobrain thing, yeah.
They just didn't, not only didn't they let it get into their thought patterns, I mean, they just didn't even hear the words. So it's that's kind of the way that it was for a long time, and so I mean, after a while, what the fuck, man? You can't, that's no good for anybody. That's not healthy for anybody.
No, absolutely.
I mean, a person that was like a yes man or a go along kind of person, or a that kind of meeky person would have, I got to stay with you. It's where my money's coming from. Oh my God, or whatever. But that's just not really the way it is, man. And certainly Echobrain. I don't have to do Echobrain for any kind of financial thing. That has nothing to do with it. I'm doing Echobrain because I love the music. I could go retire and raise horses for the rest of my life right now. It wouldn't mean shit. But that's not what it's about for me.
I guess the thing that's most intriguing is when you hear Echobrain and you hear obviously that the influences that you have brought to Echobrain, and that none of that ever seemed to come out of Metallica. How is it that you were so fulfilled in Metallica for so many years as a bass player? I mean, beyond the fame and the money, which I can understand what an attraction that is, but musically, I mean, I don't hear. I mean, I listen to Metallica records, it's like, well, I don't really hear any Beatles stuff in there, or any R&B. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
but that wasn't. It's very. I think it's also quite a fundamental thing where in Metallica and in a lot of bands, okay, in Metallica you have 4 metal guys playing metal music. In a rock band, any rock band, you pick Whitesnake or some shit. You have 5 rock guys playing rock music. In Echobrain, you have a metal guy, you got a jazz guy, and you got a funk rock guy. And that's what makes the color, so that has a lot to do with it. Also, in a beast the size of Metallica, something very important to realize, because, we were all smart enough guys that we realized our role in the band in order to make the band churn and the machine turn and all those things. The sooner you realize the big picture and the collective vision, then the better the band's going to be. And that's what happened with Metallica. We all figured out pretty early what our role was in the band and carried that out in order for the machine to roll successfully. Nobody ever wanted to be the weak link, but because you knew what your role was, you weren't expected to do something else with it that was the other guy's role.
I see.
So you did that thing and you made it go. Maybe those guys wouldn't have been asked to go for a Make-A-Wish Foundation thing to go see some kid or whatever, emotional things and those kind of things. Like, that was my deal.
I understand.
I was the diplomat, that kind of guy that did those personal things with the people, kept touch with the fans, that whole vibe, the energy, the juice, the metal guy. That was my role. And then Lars was the businessman, and James was the heart and the mind, and Kirk was the eccentricity. And, it all works real plain if you just kind of step back and look at it like that. And so the reason that you didn't hear any of those kind of flavors is because that's not what Metallica's about as a team, and is very much a team thing. You can spell team out of the word Metallica if you... you can also spell me and I, but you can spell team too.
Yeah. So at the point when you said to yourself, I can't do this anymore, I'm going to leave, did you have, were there any bits of Echobrain drifting around your head? I mean, did you have little bass lines, or did you have little melody ideas? Or, I mean, did you know what you were going to go into, or did you just know that I had to get out and I need to find something else?
The Echobrain record was already done, completed, mixed, mastered when I quit Metallica.
I see.
The record you have now was done in the summer of 2000.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's almost 2 years old, and it sounds like it does. I mean, that's pretty fucking amazing to me.
I see.
It's very. I could have told you it was done last month, and you would have said, yeah. You know, I mean, it
right,
sounds
exactly.
fresh, so.
Exactly. So then, but then at the point that you left Metallica, were there any ideas around?
What do you mean?
When did you actually leave Metallica?
January 8th, 2000.
Oh, 2000. I thought it was earlier than that. My mistake. So you had previously met. Obviously, you had previously met.
Well, wait a minute. Let me think about this. 2000 or 2001. Because it's been the last year that I split. So 2000, the album was made. So it would have been January of 2001. I'm sorry.
2001.
January 2001. So it's been 13 or 14 months now.
I see. Okay, and then you actually met Dylan and Brian many years ago.
96, I met Brian, and 97, I met Dylan, I think.
Right. Okay. At that point in time, I mean, were these guys floating around in the back of your head? I mean, these last 4 or 5 years.
Well, they're just one of the, I guess, groups of guys or people that I had going an ongoing project. There was not a year that went by that I didn't have 10 projects that I played, 3 or more times that year and recorded.
Really?
All mixes of people. So this combination of us three had played, if we could play 5 times a year, we would. If we could play 10 times a month, we would, depending on my Metallica touring schedule. So and it was always an ongoing thing, but these guys had their own band, and they were doing, California bar circuit shows, and that kind of thing with a very snappy funk kind of band. But we would drop everything and get together with our project whenever we could and build little things. But mostly, it was a porch band. It was a porch jam band. We played at our friend's barbecue, and we played harmonicas and mandolins and banjos, and, stomping your foot and drinking beer on the porch, man. That's what we did. That's how Echobrain was created. That's why it's pure like it is now. That is truly our origin, our nucleus, and there was never any plan until about, I guess, probably after the album was already done, that anything was going to we were going to try to take it somewhere. My idea, I had 2 things, my main reasons for trying to do Echobrain, or to make the album in the summer of 2000, because it was all on my dime. It was completely my investment and my choice to take it to the big studio and get together all these wonderful, talented musicians and put all this thing together. It was always the thing where we wanted self-gratification, especially my thing. My first reason was in order to have Dylan's voice exposed to people, exposed to the world. It was worthy of serious exposure. When people do hear it and do realize his raw talent, he will be somebody, we will be somebody. The other reason was since 92, I have played all these projects, like we talk about, with many, many people from all walks, colors, sizes, shapes, and languages, and put together these music. This Echobrain was the culmination of that. Pulling all of the biggest handful of genuine people that I have met out of the literally hundreds of thousands of people that I have met in my career. These are the most genuine, true musician, real to their instrument players that I have found that I keep in contact with over the years. The players from the San Francisco Symphony, and the female vocalist Sophia, and Jim Martin, Kirk, and Dylan's brother, and just all these people that are true players. Put it together on the real tape with a real engineer in a real studio. That was a dream of mine. And so that was what happened with Echobrain. And so those 2 things were the main focus, the main goal, and the main reasons. And then when it came out as good as it did, we all just said, this deserves to be taken and shared with people. That's when Metallica freaked. So that's basically that. It was not really there's never been a grand plan until about a year ago that we ever were going to take this to the people or anything like that. It's just we really wanted to just see what we could do, go in there and put all kind of layers of shit on things and noises and textures and soundscapes, and to make it what it is, So
I see.
Very much a fulfillment thing. I certainly have, I won't say how much I'm in the hole, but it's way more than people make in their lifetime.
What, for this record?
On the record and the whole project, and we're hiring road crew now, and we're starting up a tour, and we have to have equipment and rent buses and all the things that record companies and managers and shit usually pay for. You know, this is something that I'm doing on my own. The first 2,000 advances, the black and white cover, which at the time we called the black and white album, initially the Echobrain thing. Those first 2,000 copies, I insisted that I touched with my own fingers. I touched with my own hands. I put into envelopes myself, and I wrote the addresses on the envelopes with my own hand. I had to do it that way. After taking the behemoth of Metallica to the mountain, helping take it to the mountain, and keeping it up there for a long time, when I stepped away from it, I went into depression for about 4 months. I mean, like, really serious shit, lost a lot of weight, and was fucked up, just like stories that you hear. When I made a decision that I was finally going to get back into it, it was only going to be my rules, my way. I was not going to jump right back in and try to get some big record company or any of that bullshit. I'm doing it by my own rules. And so that's what I did, and that's why I did that way, and put those things all in envelopes by myself, and took myself back to the Flotsam and Jetsam days, remembering what it takes to make a band happen. And, back when I was tape trained in 1982 for Flotsam and Jetsam, there wasn't anything like the internet. And I would have to put every airmail stamp, every, customs form, fill it out myself, everything, and scrape for every penny for every stamp in those days. And now I can push one button and 1 million people can have my music. It's a very different thing, but I'm still going at it the old school way. I'm going at it both ways. We have a cool website where you can get your shit from Echobrain, or you get it from me, from my hands, the old school way, like I used to do it 20 years ago. That helped me regain my ground, retain my stance, or whatever, get my feet back on the ground solid, and say, I'm doing this. I'm making the decisions on this thing. As bands get bigger and shit gets bigger, just like us, probably with any business, but mostly with an artist, you let other people start making decisions for you. There's all kind of people hired around you, paid good money to make you comfortable and keep things hidden from you so that you're all on the even keel and shit, and you can create your art. That's real easy to get used to. You're a human being. I mean, after people are pampering you and wiping your ass and everything else, after a while, it's, you're like, hey, this is not bad. And all of a sudden you have to get your own coffee and shit. You're going, hey, man, I'm somebody special. I should, get taken care of. Whatever, that just spoiled, pampered bullshit. And I realized it. Actually, I was lucky enough to realize it about 1992, 93. When the Black Album hit, we all went into about a 6-month spin of like, holy fuck, where's all this money coming from? And then, and then after that, fortunately, I think that I got a hold of it myself pretty quickly. It took others longer to come out of it. But there's something there I learned from Metallica that you can't have great expectations. You can be cautiously optimistic. I don't have great expectations for this Echobrain thing. I know that it's good. I'm just absolutely committed to taking the music to the people, earning one fan at a time. We're playing in 400 and 600 seat clubs, so we can see everybody's eyes, and then we can present the music that we want. People can hear Dylan sing the way that he is supposed to be broken out to the world and that kind of thing. It can be in a controlled environment. I cannot throw Brian and Dylan straight into the blue flames, try to go and get big shows opening for people in arenas right off the bat. For one thing, they need to earn it because they've had a lot given to them. I mean, they certainly are worthy of it. Don't get that wrong. I mean, they're definitely...
I know what you're saying.
For 23 or 24 years old, they already have 12 years playing together.
Wow.
And that shit just... There's no price for that. And that's something that I recognized early on, that they have an incredible bond, very much like James and Lars do, where they don't have to talk about things, that just the rhythms happen and a little in-between, those little things happen. Very, very, a lot of commonality, actually, in the way that those guys write music and the way that they do bash heads in order to make the good music great and those kind of things,
Interesting.
Yeah, it is quite, actually.
So, you've told me that Echobrain is a distillation of all the people you've played with and these ideas that you had. Did you know, or could you sense that it was going to have this kind of a sound? I mean, as opposed to sounding like Deep Purple or King Crimson? I mean, did you know that it was going to be kind of eclectic and acoustic little things coming in? I mean, did you have any kind of a map of it in your head,
Absolutely.
Oh, you did.
The songs that we have created over the years since '96 or whatever, there's always been a recording device. I mean, it'd really be a stupid thing not to have a recording device going at all times when Dylan has an instrument in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, I mean, he came up with 2 or 3 things that we could use for an album. I mean, that's just the way it is. You got to have shit rolling when he's playing. Because of that, we always had ideas of where it was going to go.
I see.
We knew it was going to be acoustic based. The songs that are on the record acoustic dominated are songs that he created from a demo tape of a single acoustic guitar and a single voice with the idea, or something that we bashed out at a barbecue and we put on somebody's little Walkman somewhere or whatever. When we did create those songs, we made sure that we stayed true to the original idea.
Mm-hmm.
So now when you do hear the song, you hear his acoustic guitar up front, and then Brian and I built this incredible soundscape around it.
Right.
Having that, but always, staying true to Dylan's initial idea. Dylan is definitely the songwriter in this band.
I see.
90% of the ideas are from his seeds, whether it's on piano. It's usually piano or acoustic guitar and a single voice that come from the demos.
Oh, he's playing the piano on here too?
Not on the album, but all the ideas he wrote.
I see.
Like the crazy song at the very end.
Yes, right.
Like that's, his piano stuff. I mean, not him playing, but all his composition.
I see. Yeah, because all I have is just a CD with just Echobrain on it. There's no credits or anything. So
Where did you get it from?
Japan.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm flying a little blind here.
Okay.
So if I ask you some things that
Right. Yeah. The very the secret track. Like
right.
At the very end, it's called the crazy song.
Right.
And that's like the real Sgt. Pepper sound kind of
exactly. Thing. So who is playing piano on that then?
His name is James Brett. He's the man that actually put the pencil to paper to write out all of the parts for the instruments in the Symphony Metallica album. 4 months solid.
Really?
Of pencil to paper writing out all of these parts. Come in with suitcases full of score. And he, graduate of London Academy of Music. And the pool of talent that exists on the Metallica record is only A+ talent. There's nothing less than A+.
Mm-hmm.
People the string players are principal musicians of National Symphony of America, of Washington D.C. and San Francisco Symphony. First chair players.
Well, unbelievable.
The best in the world. That's it.
So they're playing on.
Like
Ghost?
Five out of the 11 songs have these string players.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And then Jim plays some banjo.
Jim
Martin from A Faith No More.
Oh, okay. Right, he's playing banjo on the Crazy Song.
Yeah,
there?
He plays banjo on the Crazy Song. He plays lead guitar on Sucker Punch. He plays lead guitar on Spoonfed, which is the, I think, third track.
Yes, right, third song.
And then Kirk plays guitar on Sucker Punch. Kirk Hammett.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
And on Sucker Punch, is Dylan playing that little rhythm figure in there? That little kind of, it's like cool little rhythm, kind of a little...
Dylan plays the rhythm figures, Kirk plays the lead figures, yeah.
Cool. That's great. So, Colder World was the first song you actually ever put together with these guys?
The first song we ever put together as a band was Crying Shame.
Oh, really?
The long bass drum.
Oh, I think that song is, to me, it's the best song on the record.
Wow, great, thank you. That's our first song we wrote together.
Really
just
good
completely
song.
out of a jam and just in the room together hashing it out. There's 2 basic formulas for writing music in Echobrain. One is the whole band in the room with amplifiers turned on loud, bashing it out, like the Crying Shame thing, where it just turns into this jam,
Uh-huh.
And then there's the one where Dylan brings in an idea and we piece it from there. So that's basically the 2 formulas. And you got about 6 songs and 6 songs on the album. 6 songs are written by the band, 6 songs that were Dylan ideas on this first album. But we, since the album has, been completed for about 18 months, we have already, we got about 15, well, I'm confident with 15 solid demoed, arranged songs for the next album.
Really?
There's probably 22, but I think 15 of them are just, to me, right now at this stage, it is Pink Floyd if Pink Floyd was alive in 2002.
Really?
It's absolutely the psychedelic, but still has that, just the same bite that Echobrain has, same power but same psychedelia. Real trippy but real solid rock and roll too at the same time, and cool slabby riffs, and just able to cover a lot of ground. I think the big thing with this record is that we weren't obviously didn't give a shit about what anybody else was going to think about anything.
Right.
And this is completely out of our own thing. This is the music we just created, like I say, on the porch, in the sunshine.
Right.
And this is the way that we're going to continue to do things, and we have opened all avenues for us to be able to do any kind of music that we want to. We could play one song with distortion on everything, even the vocals, and then the next song could be Dylan and one voice and one piano, and it can go for anywhere from there. We've already made that possible. So there's just people that paint themselves into a corner or into a box, things like that. That's not possible for Echobrain.
Understand. Getting back to Crying Shame for a second. Is your you mentioned that Dylan and Brian bring to the band sort of what James and Kirk did in the way they play together, and it's kind of a second nature thing. When you're in there playing with those guys, is your bass playing at a different kind of an emotional level?
Oh yeah.
Obviously it's different musically, but emotionally, and what you're bringing, and how would you describe that?
Reborn.
Reborn.
That's the easiest way to say it. Now, see, I've been playing this, different kind of music for a long time. Over the last 5 years, I've spent more time playing funk music than I have metal music.
Really?
Yeah, because as the Metallica tours subsided, the number of shows per year, dropped and things like that. So I had a lot more time to be playing my other music. So my bass style started to develop from that, and so now the style that I play live, especially on the album, I keep it real controlled so that's composition-wise. But live with Echobrain, I'm off, man. It's just not, because obviously in Metallica, the way that it goes, there's no bass coming out of the drummer's monitor. The drummer plays with the guitar player. And then the bass player in Metallica has to be a bass player, and then he has to be the glue and somehow keep it all together at the same time, because the drummer isn't playing with the bass player like a rhythm section is supposed to play.
Right, kind of like a Who thing.
Yeah, so you just have to be somewhere. Yeah, exactly. So you have to be somewhere else. And with Echobrain, Brian and I are very much on, and it's a rhythm section. He is a very, very capable jazz drummer. He can improv anything I throw at him. He can come back, and there we are in a groove. And so my playing is, I would say, busier and obviously more funky, more soulful, more emotional, more fluid, more multi-dimensional, obviously. It's just, in Metallica, I had to keep the big B string going, the fat string going, in order to even get sounds, frequencies underneath how low the guitars went.
I understand. Exactly.
So, that's the reason I even got the 5-string. I think I've probably played 5-string longer than most guys. I've been playing 5-string since 1987.
Wow.
And
that is a long time.
I had ESP's prototype 5-string bass. That's, I know that Fender made a 5-string bass back in the early 60s, but nobody ever caught on to it. John Paul Jones is the only guy that ever paid attention to it. So, the 5-string bass, that's just my thing. And so now that I'm able to develop it into the Echobrain thing, it's pretty amazing, actually.
Interesting. So what
kind of different world for me, dude. It really is.
Yeah. Can you run down just kind of your basic setup, Jason? The bass and amp and...
I still play the same stuff. I play Sadowski basses and...
5-string basses.
5-string, right? Stuff that Roger and I, we pick out the wood together from the raw pieces and say that one's light enough and put that together, and I want that one with those pickups and configured that way, and that's about that. So I'm just keeping it real minimal this time. All the songs are in the same tuning.
Same tuning?
Huh?
You mean you're not tuning down, you mean? When you say same tuning?
You have like 5 or 6 different tunings, and so I have to carry 13 basses.
You're kidding? Even the bass would change tunings?
Oh yeah, dude. I played 5 different tunings in Metallica.
Wow.
So there's in Echobrain, it's all one tuning, so I just have to take a couple good solid basses out. The ones, I have my number one bass, the one that all the paints wore off and shit. That's the one that is obviously the first one I take, and I take a backup to that, and that's it for this tour. I keep it really simple.
And what? I'm sorry. And what about amps, Jason?
Ampeg, old stuff. I actually just got a reissue classic that has a gain knob. I never knew an SVT original had a gain knob. I've only ever played them back to where they had just the frequency switches and stuff. Awesome.
Really?
So now I'm playing 2 classic heads and 2 classic cabinets, and that's it, dude. And it's wicked. It's just wicked. It is. It's so pure. It's just so pure. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a great sound.
Because having the gain capability like that is just, you can get it really woofing hard. You can really get it grinding.
Let's see, just a few more minutes, and I'll let you go.
Okay.
Great. I'm just going to toss out a couple of other songs, and you just tell me kind of what's going on there.
Okay.
The Feeling Is Over kind of has a very airy kind of a feel to it.
Right,
There's strings on there as well.
That song is like the Echobrain theme song, actually.
Oh, really?
It's called Echobrain. And before that, it was called Eyes Glued to the Back of My Hand. It's about, the Echobrain name and story and the whole thing came from Dylan's brother, who plays harmonica on Echobrain, who's also a very talented musician.
Oh, and what's his name?
Adam Donkin.
When you say he plays harmonica, you mean he plays...
Played harmonica on
I Drank You?
On I Drank You.
Yeah, okay.
And he's like, Dylan's family are all musicians and stuff, and so he comes from that family, and says that's one of those things. They're just, everybody can play anything you put in front of them, kind of sickening in a way,
Mm-hmm.
So Adam came and played, Adam had this bad acid trip, and he tells us about this time where he had to hide himself in between his mattress and his box springs for 10 hours with his eyes glued to the back of his hand. And he couldn't escape the echoes in his head. He couldn't escape his mind. It was fucking bad.
God.
And so he told Dylan about it, and then Dylan started thinking about, when everybody has their conscious voice, right? And then you got, how many conscious voices do you have, where you start getting in your head and you're arguing about shit like, what are people going to think of that, or what should I do, or what, So you have 3 or 4 voices going in your mind at once, all echoing off each other and, like, trying to, you're arguing with yourself in your head type of shit.
Yeah.
So everybody has an element of Echobrain, whether they know it or not. Everyone in the world, no matter what language you speak, you have a little bit of factor of Echobrain. So that's the idea. It's almost like it's not a sickness, but it's a affliction.
Yeah, and a condition, definitely.
A condition, that's right.
Yeah. Let's see, Adrift has kind of a, I call it sort of like a little Bowie feel to it. I don't know if that's accurate, but that's a cool tune. Cool tune.
That is very much the one of the ones that really sticks out as the obvious acoustic-based song.
Yeah, right.
That was created all on acoustic instruments on the porch.
Oh, really?
Hand drum, acoustic bass, all that stuff. A talking drum, I think it was actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the initial demos of that was pretty folky. Pretty folky. But cool, really, I think it's just the chord progressions are quite colorful. So.
Yeah, yeah. So where did you record the record, Jason?
We recorded the record at the Site.
The Site?
The Site, S-I-T-E, up north here in California. It's a self-contained compound up in the middle of the mountains where you just go and, you have a chef and there's accommodations.
Oh, cool.
You just go there and, we went and we had our herbs and our shrooms and thing. And there you go, man. That was it. No record company schmucks, ties and suits and whatever, walking around. Let me hear the record. Oh, that's not good. No, change the lyric. Any of that bullshit.
There was none of that bullshit.
No business fuckers, no anything, just us locked up in that place in the mountains making our music.
Wow, that's cool.
So that has a lot to do with why it sounds like it does, too.
Yeah.
And also that we were able to complete it in 25 days.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And who produced it?
Brian Joseph Dobbs was the guy that helped us record it. I feel that I was the producer, but
right.
Echobrain all produced it together, But Brian comes from Bob Rock's school. He's been working on Metallica albums since 1990.
Oh, he has.
And so he's part of our longtime family.
So then him being there was comfortable for you?
Oh, yeah, that's the only way I would do it.
I see.
I've actually had to turn down production gigs because Brian wasn't able to be there with me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went through one, the band called Speed Dealer,
right,
in Dallas, Texas, that's coming out in May. That was my first production gig, Brian was going to do with us, but he was not able to. So I put it together with a guy named Kent Matke, who was also from the Metallica family.
And he recorded it essentially.
He did a speed dealer thing with us, and he's also helping us here with the Echobrain stuff. But,
I see.
And on the books to also do a band out of Jersey called Dragpipe, and Brian wasn't able to be with me on that, so I had to sign off on that, which was kind of a disappointment for myself, because I think it's a very promising band. I just felt if I could have got a hold of him, I really could have taken him someplace.
Oh, so you did not do that one?
I wasn't able to do Dragpipe.
I see.
But I was able to do Speed Dealer, and I'm very excited about that. It's going to be coming out in May, and I think that the people, anybody that has, like, the super metal guys that don't like Echobrain because it ain't metal, just, give it a couple months and get the Speed Dealer album, and everything will be okay with Jason again, I'm sure. It's old school speed metal, dude. It's the real deal. It's beautiful.
So when you're going in there as a producer, I mean, are you obviously you've learned from what Metallica has done? I mean, is it those kinds of ideas you're bringing to them? I mean, is that why someone would come to you to produce their band?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I didn't try to fight for space in front of the mixing desk when Metallica was making records, because that's pretty much stupid. It's just frivolous. It's actually impossible. So all I did was that, well, they always say, like, the quiet ones are the ones to watch out for.
Exactly.
And I guess that's probably where it's at. And I always just kind of hung out and soaked everything in. I watched what Bob Rock did. I watched what Randy Staub did. I watched how they mic'd up amplifiers and how they mixed up things and all that shit, and keep things simple or make them complicated over here or whatever. Just try to pay attention, man.
Interesting.
So, 10 years later, I got to try it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. So what you touched on before is probably obviously something you've thought about, the fact that Echobrain is not a Metallica 2 record, a Metallica Junior, and that people may have expected that, and so you're going out there to the world now of touring and the records coming out. I mean, what are the feelings now? I mean, will people accept you? I mean, will they allow you to do this other type of music? I mean,
they allow me. I love that, dude.
You know what I mean. Allow you commercially. You know what I'm saying?
The feelings basically is that I pretty much has the attitude that I've taken for the whole time of my career. I do what I feel is right. Creating positive karma, positive vibrations, and moving forward steps, trying to always do something each day. That's what I continue to do with Echobrain. If the heavy guys don't like it, please buy us the new Sepultura album, please. Buy Puya, from Puerto Rico. Buy somebody that really is worth. Buy the new Machine Head. Give props to the metal guys that are keeping metal alive, but do not disrespect me and this beautiful music. The 15 years of my taking part in taking Metallica's music to the people, I feel that I was a big part in getting in their face and sweating and spitting and doing all that and taking it to them. Those things can never be taken away from me. That is forever. So my wish is that the people would remember what we do have together already. Don't let anyone take that away from us. Please grow with me with Echobrain. Not everything is for everyone, and I understand that, but I'm not going to be hurt. My feelings are not going to be hurt, and I'm certainly not going to change my attitude or my determination for any of my projects because of what someone thinks of my music. I mean, that's just not something I could ever do. If I would have wanted to do that, I mean, dude, I could have done a watered-down Metallica. I could have done a rap rock record. I could have done, you know what I mean? What the fuck? I mean,
absolutely.
That's not how it is.
Absolutely.
I mean, real music is what it is. So I have plans for putting together my dream metal band, and when that time happens, people's flesh will be removed. That's all. I mean, I already know what's going to happen. I already know who's going to play in it, and I already know how fucking bad it's going to be.
Really?
But that's not for right now.
Okay.
I know that next year I'm going to be making an album with Voivod. I'm going to be the bass player of Voivod next year. I know that already. So.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you know this?
Because we've been talking about it for years, and we are already trading tapes for the new music, and I just know that that's what's going to happen. And
just touching on that very briefly, I mean, what is it about Voivod that's so
Well, we've been friends for years.
I see.
Forever. And when we were Flotsam in '83, '84, we wanted to be Voivod.
Really?
They were so far ahead of their time. They always have been. With everything, with their music, with their art, with their ideas. So they've just always been heroes. So they reunited the three main guys, and they called me and asked me to play bass in their band. And that's a guy living 2 dreams in one lifetime. So,
wow.
There you go.
That's cool, man.
So I know I'm going to be doing that. I also know, like in April, I'm going to go jam with Government Mule for a week for some live shows.
Really?
And, it's all about flow, man. So, obviously, the music thing, I'm not doing this to please anybody else, really. If people are digging what I'm doing, fine, get on to it. If not, step away.
Mm-hmm.
And wait for the heavy stuff if you want heavy stuff. So I certainly have that in me, I'm releasing my little punk project, actually, in a couple of weeks here, just on an underground thing.
What's that?
It's called Papa Wheelie. P-A-P-A, Wheelie, Papa Wheelie, and I play guitar and sing.
W-H-E-E-L?
W-H-E-E-L-I-E.
Really?
Wheelie, yeah.
And what is that, Jason?
I play guitar and sing, and I have a couple friends play. One guy plays drums. Actually, Lars' personal assistant plays the drums.
And what's his name?
Steve Wig, W-I-I-G. And a friend of mine that runs a bike shop. See, we all ride bicycles, so that's why it's called Papa Wheelie. But so the guy that owns the local bike shop plays bass. I got him his first bass, a few years back, and so he's just, it's very much like Caius are our gods and Papa Wheelie, and it's very much slab, stoner metal, full-on shit in my vocal, like,
Oh, you're singing?
Yeah.
So. And what is the bass player's name?
Joe Ledesma, L-E-D-E-S-M-A.
Interesting.
And that's going to come out on my Chop House label in just a couple of weeks, but completely through the underground. Completely just by sending me a note and saying you want it, or getting on the internet and saying you want it, or whatever. That's the only way you're going to get it. It's not going to be something that's a...
Is it pretty interesting stuff?
It's full-on punk, metal, slab shit, and our thing is... We're trying to come up with our saying for the record, but basically the formula is that the wheelie rolls over the same ground only once. Any music that you hear on this record was played only once and only that time.
Uh-huh.
There is no rehearsed songs. There is no, wait, stop, play it again. Whatever we played that moment, that time, that night is what you hear. There are no overdubs. There's no rehearsal. There is no planning.
Huh.
Just tread the ground, complete improv from the get-go. So that's the beauty of the wheelie, actually, is that it just goes and goes and just goes.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool, man. Then you're going out. You'll be touring with Echobrain. I guess
we start next week. Our California shows start on March 20th, and then our American tour starts on April 26th.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Terrific. Well, I appreciate that very much, Jason.
Right on, man. Where are we going to see you?
You're going to see me down at. You playing? Are you playing the House of Blues?
Yeah.
Is that what you're playing?
In Anaheim.
Oh no, aren't you playing? Are you playing the House of Blues in Hollywood as well?
No, we're playing the Roxy on...
Oh, the Roxy.
On the 12th of April.
That's what it is. I just cut out. Yeah, that's where you'll see me.
Yep, cool.
That's where I am. I appreciate that. Great. And you were going to be able to put on, they said you could put on Dylan and Brian for about 10 minutes?
Okay, let me find Dylan.
Great.
I'm not sure if Brian's here yet, but I'll get Dylan. Hold on.
Okay. 10 minutes and I'll let you get back and you guys can...
Rock?
Cool. Why don't we just start the obvious place? I mean, you have known Brian for many years and you guys have been playing together. When this situation came up, I mean, was it kind of, kind of a miracle in your lifetime kind of a thing? I mean, is that? I mean,
yeah.
It's an opportunity I think that a lot of guitar players would have liked to have, been in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it's the fantasy became reality. My dream, all of a sudden, my dreams got really boring to real life. You know what I mean? Just instantly. It's pretty much, it's just like that, dude. It's a total, I'm so thankful that I have met the people that, and it's all about the, just meeting with everybody, I guess, at the right time, and everybody clicking, and the chemistry, and we just really all love playing together, and, it's just great.
So you've been playing with Brian for a long time then?
Yeah, since junior high, we started playing, like 6th grade, 12, 11 years old. Didn't have anybody else to jam with, just me and him. We had a couple other friends that we try and, I had this one guy, I really, he was a good friend of mine, so I tried to get him to play bass, and I started teaching him how to play bass, and I started playing guitar, and, but he didn't work out. He didn't really want to do it. He just did it because he wanted to hang out with us, but it wasn't really like a...
Right.
Nobody really, just me. It always would end up being me and Brian,
I see.
We'd have a couple other guys we'd play with, and, it just wouldn't be the same, we just always clicked really well.
And you're from what area?
Millbrae. It's where San Francisco Airport
Yeah.
It's that town. It's airport town.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so
I see.
So I used to go to the airport when I was a kid and hang out over there.
Hang out the airport, huh?
Yeah, there's nothing to do in Millbrae, I was, really, it's just kind of a dead town. I used to drop acid and go walk around the airport. pretty boring for a while, but there was always the records. Yeah.
So, I mean, you're obviously a pretty young guy. I mean, were you aware at all of the kind of the San Francisco thing, music that was going on back in the 60s? I mean, was that...
Yeah. Well, my parents were really into that whole scene in the 60s on the Haight-Ashbury scene. They used to go to the Golden Gate Park. And
did they really?
Janis Joplin and the Dead. Oh, yeah. They
oh,
were
wow, that's
totally
cool.
huge into that. And, see Dylan in the band and, Country Joe and the Fish.
Yeah.
We're really into those guys. And, I'd hear the records around playing when I was a kid.
Didn't do much for you?
Well, some of it did. I think it really did something for me, but it just didn't. I didn't start really appreciating it until I heard it again as I got older. And it kind of hit me like, oh God, yeah, this is where it's at, And they definitely the playing, when I was a kid, really was most, I would say that they really did was it was not so much the records they were playing, but they would play they would play Country Joe songs themselves, on the guitars, the acoustic guitars.
Oh really?
Mom and Dad played together.
Oh really? They played?
Yeah, they both play guitar.
Interesting.
And they'd jam all the time when I was a kid, and often even now they still do. So it's just really, that was more of an influence, I think, than the actual. Listening to songs, but then when I'd hear the original records after hearing them play the songs for so many years, I was like, okay, that's really cool.
So, what kind of stuff were you listening to then? I mean, was it the Beatles or?
I discovered. I really got into John Lennon and his lyrics and his melodies, and I shouldn't really pinpoint it on John Lennon, but I think I really liked the Beatles as like a cartoon Yellow Submarine kind of thing when I was a kid, and the 1, 2, 3, 4, can I get a little more kind of shit. Yeah, that was when I was like really little. That was like kidsy sing song kind of thing, but it really, I really struck a chord with me. But when I was in 5th grade, I got really into John Lennon's vibe. I don't know what it was. He just was I don't know. I just really dug it. I just thought it was thought he was the Messiah or whatever.
So he's kind of like your main guy then.
Well,
I can hear that is why I asked that.
Oh yeah, well that was he was the guy. He was the first musician I was like, I want to be like him. That was the first guy. But I want to be like I don't want to be Miles Davis, but I know I could never be Miles Davis, but I love Miles Davis, and I love Herbie Hancock, and I love, I love all these guys, and I've got I love their music and everything. But I think it was, the John Lennon was like the first introduction to me that was saying like, this is somebody who, somebody I looked up to, as a person, as well as like just like the music thing. So.
Interesting. What were those first kind of jams like with Brian and Jason? I mean, how did they feel? Could you say this is cool? There's something here, or was it kind of let's work on? Was it kind of like an instant thing? Did you know that we got to do something, or?
No, it was just it was incredible meeting Jason. I think everything was kind of that overshadowed everything. It was just the idea of just meeting Jason Newsted was just really cool, and I was trying to keep up, jamming and stuff, and once we started playing, it was really cool. I was just really stoked we were playing with Jason. That was the first few times, and
so you were a little intimidated, maybe?
I wouldn't say that. I wasn't because when we play, and I'm not really thinking about once we like. I think I might have been a little nervous. Yeah, I think maybe the first one for a couple times, but I was. After a while, we just, it was in like, I didn't think about that anymore. I just really liked playing with him, And the fun thing is Brian always relaxes me,
Oh, really?
As playing, yeah. It's just, it doesn't matter what we're doing, see Brian back there, and I feel like I'm 11 again, and no problem, and everything's going to be cool.
Right.
So then it's just, and then I put my head down, and then we just started playing, and I just stopped thinking about it. It was just great after that,
So you are the main you're the main songwriter in the band.
I tend to come up with a lot of the material. Usually how I've been doing it is, I'll have like a lot of acoustic bass tunes. And I'll record over at Brian's house, and me and Brian will kind of throw down a bunch of textures. I'll throw down like a bunch of different guitar sounds and vocals and harmonies and stuff, and just kind of play some synthesizer stuff and keyboards and just kind of hole up in his garage, for like a couple of days, and then I'll throw a demo over to Jason and see what he thinks.
I see.
He'll start throwing down some bass, and then throwing down some. We throw down ideas. How we're gonna interpret this. In a live rock band kind of vibe. What's cool right now is we're just we're totally reworking these songs we did on the album. I'm just really excited about how they're sounding now as like a rock band with like all players. I mean, I did a lot of overdubbing on the album,
right?
But now it's like we got 5 real cool in the flesh musicians. They're just and Chris and Dave, the guys we're working with, are just so receptive to our vibe, and they make it so much better with throwing their kind of spin on it. It's just, it's really cool when you get like 5 guys with their independent brains kind of culminating, kind of cultivating this music,
Right. So I'm sorry. So you're saying that there are 2 other people that are going to go out with you live?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, we got these 2 guys. Chris Ciani.
Can you spell that?
Yes.
Please.
It's Scinni.
Yeah, right. That's
Scinnianni.
That sounds right.
Yeah, that's it. I don't want to spell his name.
No.
Chris Ciani, and then David Borla. Borla.
So Chris plays.
But Chris plays guitar and harmonica, and Dave does keyboards and percussion.
Oh, I see.
So they're in another band together called Danger Man.
Danger Man?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, really cool band. Brennan O'Brien produced their record.
Oh, really?
They're really cool stuff. Yeah, but they're also really good friends of ours.
And so they also play on the album?
No, they didn't play on the album, but that's the thing. Like, they're going to come on the road with us and interpret the songs.
I see.
In a rock band format. As a quintet.
Gotcha.
And it's just and that's what I'm really stoked about right now. Is we got all these different brains coming together for this music, whereas it was just a couple of brains before. We got all these guys heads into it, and they're and their own vibe is mixing with ours, and it's creating a new sound, and I'm just so stoked. It's great. I can't wait to go on the tour. It's gonna be so fun.
Right. So was Crying Shame the first song that kind of came together, or was it Colder World?
Yeah, Crying Shame was the first one we did together. The first time we actually decided to record something, and rather than just to do jams. But that was the first song. We did it kind of on the spot, spontaneously. Jason came up with this bass line. Brian went with the jazz beat, and then I started kind of just riffing some stuff on the vocals. And by the end of the day, we had that song all pretty much done. And then we recorded the demo for it over the next couple of days, along with a couple other songs that actually didn't get on the album, but that one was the one. That was the first one, and we were like, we were just like, wow, this was cool. We just actually did a song together. We had first we had improvised, did the improvising in the first day. And then we actually sat down and overdubbed stuff over the next couple of days.
Yeah, it's a great song. Very cool song.
That's really my favorite.
Is it? Yeah, I think it's just got such a great feel, and it's so simple melodically and stuff. It's just
yeah, it's really cool. It's just like the 3 of us just kind of just jamming together. It wasn't like a song where I had presented it to the band.
Right.
It was really cool because it just kind of came out of nowhere.
Right, I understand. So just tell me then. I mean, what you're kind of doing here, guitar-wise, what you're playing guitar-wise, and kind of amp-wise, and delays. Because that's a big part of your sound. Is kind of like the delays thing, and kind of mixing in little parts that kind of fly in and out of verses and things. I mean,
oh yeah.
Can you kind of just describe to me what you're doing on this song here, guitar-wise, amp-wise, and?
Yeah, you mean for the album or?
Yeah, on the album. What kind of amp and guitar and things?
Let's see. I used a Gibson SG for that down out riff. The main riff. And I was playing through a few different amps. I played through a Mesa Boogie and a Fender Twin, which is really kind of cool because the Fender Twin gave it this kind of crisp sound,
right.
And then the Mesa gave it some of that beef, and it really it's kind of a cool blend. And then there was all kinds of delays we threw on there, analog delays, and
so is that kind of stuff just after the fact? I mean,
yeah. Well, we would kind of just we would say, let's get the riff down, let's get the main riff down. We got the foundation. Like the live part was, that we did together was the bass drums and the main that guitar sludge riff, the down out riff.
Right.
And then everything else kind of, I would just I'd play through a VG8. If you know those, there's a Roland VG8s.
Oh yeah, right. The
it's a
guitar synth.
Yeah,
yeah.
You have like different amp settings and stuff, and distortions and stuff. And there was a really cool effect on there. I can't remember which one it was actually, but we used it for a lot of the atmospheric kind of stuff.
I see. On
it, and there's one part where I was doing this guitar solo over it, and I finished the guitar solo and I let the guitar ring out, and Jason just out of nowhere picked up this 9-volt battery and just slipped it across the neck. You hear this part; it's like my favorite part in the song, where it just came across killer because right when he did that, Dobbs saw I was doing it and cranked up the Dobbs is the engineer producer, and he cranked up the volume on it, so he turned it real loud, so you just hear this real screechy sound of 9-volt going down. It was just really cool. That was like a big part of the sound for that one part. And God, I can't. There's just a lot of different stuff on that.
Yeah, and I mean, a big part of what you do, like you said before, is the acoustic guitar. I guess this stuff is built on acoustic guitar, and then you kind of add to it from there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's acoustic on just about, well, at least 6 or 7 songs that I can hear clearly, right? Yeah.
It was kind of was always my. I don't really have an electric guitar. It's kind of by chance, it just kind of happened like that. Just
You mean?
As far as playing guitar, I was playing an acoustic. The reason why they're acoustic bass most of the time is because I'm writing at my house and I don't have an electric guitar at my house.
Oh, really?
I leave it over at Brian's house.
Oh, I see.
I only have one rig, so I always forget it. I always forget to bring it home, so I just leave it over at Brian's house. So then when I'm writing stuff, I'll end up writing them on the acoustic.
I see.
And it just kind of lends itself to an acoustic sound, because they're all written on the acoustic.
What is your main acoustic, Dylan?
At my house, I have an old beat-up Yamaha that I'm playing. On the album, I played Jason's Martin.
Oh, really?
Which was beautiful.
Yeah, very cool.
But most stuff I write on is this old beat-up Yamaha that my dad gave me when I was a kid, and I've just been playing ever since.
And then also, you're playing slide guitar? Is that you playing these slide guitar solos? I guess there's one on Colder World and...
Oh, yeah. I used a Gretsch for that, for all the slide stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Gretsch with the action up real high. And it was, I usually play it, when I do it in the studio, I'd play it on my lap. It just kind of worked out easier that way. Kind of like Ben Harper does it,
Yeah, I do know Ben Harper, yeah.
Yeah, really, you get a lot more control out of it, I find. You can, I find it a lot more maneuverable, I guess. I don't know.
Interesting. And what about your vocals? I mean, are you a kind of you're one-take Charlie kind of guy, or are you in there kind of cutting and mixing and matching and?
I'm kind of anal when it comes to vocals. Actually, I get really pissed at myself. It's fucked up. So I just keep hitting it till it's right.
You do.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, I can't. It really bugs me if it's out of tune or anything.
Yeah.
But then sometimes it's good to be out of tune. I don't know. There are a couple of songs on there that we were just the one take was cool.
Yeah.
I think on "Keep Me Alive" that was one take. And we just there was lots of parts where it was flat on it, and it really bugged me. But at first, but then I was like, it's cool. It kind of makes sense that the song is kind of frantic, and it's not supposed to be. You're supposed to be kind of broken, kind of sound to the voice. The vibe is supposed to be kind of a broken down man kind of vibe. So
gotcha. So I mean, lyrically, where do you find your inspiration? I mean, what typically are you writing about? Kind of just experiences, or are you making is it kind of conjuring things, or?
Yeah, it's all based on my life, I think. It's not like something I don't usually write songs about other people's lives or try and come up with someone else's story. Although I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just don't really seem to do it. Just kind of I usually have certain images in my head that very there's very it's what's the word I'm looking for? Now all of a sudden I can't think of it. There's just very specific images that are in my head.